Binda, I want to come across to you first. You've been amongst those who've been a key part of the women's reservation movement. You fought for this for decades, quite literally. The government is now turned that promise into reality as far as the Lok Sabha is concerned. The Rajya Sabha is up tomorrow. What do you think of this historic day when a battle that you fought for so many decades is finally nearing fruition?
Is it really turning it into a reality? From what I have read about the draft of the bill that they have presented, they have very unnecessarily linked the bill to the census and to the completion of the exercise by a delimitation commission, which is yet to be appointed. And I believe that turning this bill into a reality will take very many more years. So the opportunity that the Modi government had in 2014 to do so, the opportunity it had in 2019 to do so, it did not do so for whatever reasons it can only explain. And now to be presented with a fait accompli, bringing a bill at the fag end of their term and saying, calling it some absurd name, Nari Bandhan, what does it mean? We are here as equals. What on earth are you trying to say? Patronizing, patriarchal? So quite frankly, I'm disappointed with the way that this is being done.
The counter to what you're saying is, it's better late than never. This promise has been made for more than 2 decades. No government ever mustered the courage to actually push it through. The UPA government could have done that from 2010 to 2014, but they were dependent on the SP and the RJD. They didn't. You must certainly acknowledge, ma'am, that the government has finally pushed this through, and the Prime Minister himself has staked his political reputation on passing this bill, and his government will be judged by how soon the bill actually becomes reality. So he's actually putting himself out there, and now the women of this country will judge whether it was just a jumla or indeed a serious promise.
I think it's all linked up. As far as the UPA government is concerned, it was the joint efforts of the UPA and those who were in support of the bill at that time that we did get it passed in the Rajya Sabha. I have written about the scenes which were there as part of the passage of the bill and the kind of barriers which were put even at the last minute. But it was adopted. There was a very good chance of it being adopted in the Lok Sabha. But as usual, patriarchal forces and those opposed to the bill sabotaged it. And it's taken from 2010 to 2023. My question is why? And are we just to just be so grateful that, well, at last we have got this and better late than never? What I am saying is that this government had the opportunity to do so because it had a majority. It had a majority of those who are in support of the bill. It refused to do so. It's brought it at the fag end of its term, and now it wants women to be eternally grateful. Well, my take is no. If you're serious, as it is, you've messed up, remove that clause. Delete that clause in the bill which links women's reservation with the census and with the delimitation process.
But it's the opposition, ma'am, that's wanting to link the women's reservation bill with the caste census. They're demanding that there be OBC reservation from amongst the reservation for women, and all of this potentially only seeks to delay the process rather than getting on with what is on the table. You're wanting to set the bar higher and thereby ensuring that it doesn't actually get implemented. What do you make of what the opposition is saying?
Well, I mean, have the people who talked about OBC said that they're not going to support the bill? I mean, we can all have opinions as to how to improve the bill, how to, include more sections in the bill. That's all fine as part of the discussion. But have any of these parties said that they're going to oppose the bill because there is no OBC reservation. I haven't heard that in any speech. They have made suggestions. That's fine. What are the amendments which have been moved? And what's going to happen when the bill is actually voted? We'll have to look at that. But I do believe that it is important for the government to delete the clause which links the bill to the census and to the delimitation process. I think that to a great extent will ensure that the bill will be implemented as soon as possible. This way, as it is, we've lost the opportunity in the 18th Lok Sabha.